What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So I actually made a video last week in which we drove down to Orange County from Los Angeles Metro and Autopilot was freaking out or glitching out because the sun was way too bright. So in today's drive to Orange County, hopefully it's going to be bright enough. We'll see if Autopilot freaks out and can't detect the lanes in this super bright sun. Let's get into the video. So I just installed this screen protector on the infotainment screen and I made a video about it, and I'm also giving one away because I have two. So if you're interested in that, hit the link above or in the description to check out the video. But if you notice with my polarizer, there's a little bit of blue purple haze that's created by the screen protector. The good thing though is with my polarized sunglasses, I don't see the blue or purplish haze like the camera does. So that's good. Thanks for watching another video guys. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. I just got this Tesla Model 3 and I make videos about my experience, including a weekly Autopilot video in Los Angeles traffic. So if you're interested in any of that, hit that subscribe. So I just realized today it's a Monday and it's Veterans Day, so there's actually like no traffic. It looks like typically it takes an hour to an hour and 15 to get down to Orange County, or Irvine, to get down to Irvine, but it looks like today it's gonna be 43 miles and 43 minutes. So perfect timing with no traffic. Okay, so it's actually pretty bright today. 65 degrees out, it's still pretty hazy out with the smog. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on Autopilot. So this isn't the newest update. It looks like one of the newer updates has been pushed out slowly to some of the cars, but this is version 10, 2019.32.12.2. All right, and that wasn't too bad, I would say. I guess that's kind of expected. Autopilot freaked out because the one lane turned into two very suddenly, and it didn't really know which side to go onto, so it just veered to the right side. So another thing I'm doing is I'm gonna make a video on, I purchased every single noise reduction kit off Amazon. Well, there's actually not too many. There's one that covers the doors, there's one that covers the front trunk and the trunks, and then there's one that covers like the roof band on the top. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit, kind of hold the phone right here as we go through this stretch of road. I'm going about 65, 64 miles an hour, maybe 60 miles an hour, a little bit of traffic, but pretty typical. And we'll kind of see what decibels we record within the car. Okay, so we'll record a little bit later when we get up to higher speeds, but that was pretty much a 50 to 60 miles per hour on the I-5 California highway, and we got up to a max of 67 decibels, which is actually not too loud. I was expecting in the 70s or 80s from some of the other videos I've watched, but it was typically hovering in the 63 to 64 decibels, but we'll record as we get to a higher speed later on. All right, so back to the Autopilot video. This is the stretch of road where Autopilot can't necessarily recognize some of the lanes because of either the way how the pavement is paved or what they use for the line markers. So it's a pretty bright day right now. Not as bright as some of the other days, I would say, but Autopilot is doing pretty fine. It's at 65 miles an hour setting, so I'm gonna raise that up to 75. So Autopilot moved a little bit to the left passing that truck, so that was kind of interesting. But then there was a car on our left, so the Corolla on our left side was freaking out a little bit because it probably thought I was trying to go into that lane. So Autopilot wants to go into the left lane because it's the faster lane, so I'm going to go ahead and auto lane change. Pretty smooth today, I would say. Also probably because it's a pretty open stretch of highway right now because there's no traffic. So you can see Autopilot, and it probably does this on a normal basis and I never noticed, but Autopilot is recognizing some of those lanes back there as solid lanes, and then it switches back to the dotted lines. Oh, okay. Autopilot got pretty close to this truck right there. So now we're just pacing this car. That's the one thing I'll probably never get used to. When Autopilot goes into a turn, it likes to kind of make the turn late sometimes, so it hangs really close to the outer edge of the turn as it goes through the turn, just like that. So you can see the car kind of just sways to the left side of the lane instead of the right side, or really just staying in the middle. So hopefully I like to see that in some of the newer updates. It perfectly tries to stay in the middle like a normal driver would, instead of reacting to the turn. Okay, so we're passing Commerce Casino right now, going 72 miles an hour. We're going to go ahead and start this audio test again within the car to see how loud the interior cabin gets. Okay, so it looks like the max for that one was 74 decibels, but it hovered in kind of that 67 range as an average and the low of 65. So definitely higher than the last test because we're going at a faster speed. So I would say today isn't as bright as this last video. It's definitely very smoggy and hazy. So we're coming up in the construction area, or one of the construction area, where I've noticed on my morning commute that Autopilot can freak out a little bit. So, which is pretty alarming, is I just saw a video from Scott Kubo in which he almost veered away from one of these construction barriers on the left because Autopilot was going straight for it. And I drive through one of these pretty much every day, and the good thing is Autopilot has kind of recognized it, probably because there's a lane right next to the construction barrier. But if there was no lane, it probably would have just gone straight and kind of went through the construction barrier. So that was a pretty good one. It was a quick veer to the right, but the construction barriers, the lanes, all went to the right as well, so Autopilot recognized it. So if you can kind of see on the road, there's lines going all over the place, so I can certainly see why Autopilot gets confused in this morning commute, because it's trying to figure out which line to follow, and there's not necessarily clear lines on this highway. Like for instance, this left line which is kind of just marking the end of the highway to the left, is like broken, it's dotted, it's solid, it disappears at times. So if you notice on the infotainment screen, it kind of flips in and out on whether it's there or not. Yeah, so pretty clear today as expected, with it being Veterans Day. Not a lot of traffic on this commute down. Hopefully we can get up to higher speed so I can see how loud the cabin gets at 75 to 80 miles an hour. Alright, so this is the area where Autopilot also freaks out a lot. It's another construction area zone. So we'll hold on to the steering wheel and kind of see what it does. It should be able to navigate this fine today because the sun isn't too bright, so we can really see all the lines pretty clearly, I would say. So yeah, see how there's one line that way? Last time it went to the left because it was confused on which line to take. And wow, that got really close. So because the road veered to the left, Autopilot always is a little late on its lane turns, and there was a car on the right side, so they probably freaked out when it's on Autopilot kind of veering really close to the right side, because I think Autopilot possibly thought that the road was going that way as well because of these lines. So here's another one. Okay, so Autopilot's navigating fine. You notice all these lines from the old highway is going that way, so it wants to probably try and follow that direction, but it's still continuing to go straight. There it was again. I think Autopilot is recognizing these lines going that way, so it wants to follow that side of the road. But luckily, the cameras are still recognizing the lane, so it's going along the right side, correct side. All right, so here's another open stretch of highway, going 73 miles an hour. I'm gonna record to see how loud this gets. Okay, so that was pretty much a 70 to 75 mile an hour drive. The max decibels was 73, the average of 69, and the low of 65. So it definitely gets louder when you go at a higher speed. So that's it. Those are really the main 3 areas that I wanted to test today. The super bright sun, the initial area where it gets really bright because of the pavement, and then 2 construction zones on this commute down I-5 from Los Angeles to Orange County. Thanks for watching. Hit that like if you enjoyed this video, and comment below on your experiences in construction zones and super bright sun. Love to hear your thoughts. All right, see you guys in the next one.